Hi. There's a famous poem called the Serenity Prayer written by Ryan Colney. You might have heard of it. It goes something like this. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Before we can talk about all the things we can do, we need to make peace with what we can't. So reality, the way we are going to be using to determine this course going forward, are the things that are out of our control. Gravity is reality. If we jump on Earth, there will be an attractive force that will pull us down towards the planet. Your beliefs are irrelevant here. It doesn't matter whether you believe in gravity or not. It will pull you down. It's reality. So an example of reality in the corporate world might be that your bosses will decide your year-end rating based on their assessments of your performance, not based on your assessment of your own performance. Now, you might not agree with the rating you get. You might feel it's unfair, biased, harsh, but the rating will primarily be based on their assessments of your performance. There are two things you can do with reality. One, you can accept it, or two, you can go into denial, which means to say you refuse to accept reality. Reality is like a mountain. If you're a mountain climber and you slip and you cut yourself, you can scream and shout and bang your fist on the mountain. What happens to the mountain? Nothing. Nothing happens to the mountain. What happens to you? You cause yourself more harm. So in this corporate example we're using, if you refuse to accept that other people are going to assess your performance, you're going to get upset and demotivated and resentful. And resentment is like drinking a poison hoping somebody else will die. You may hope that if you get upset enough, people are going to change your rating, and it might happen like once in 20 times, but in 90 out of 20 cases, people will think you're close to feedback and that you exaggerate your own achievements. Now, if instead you accept this reality, that people are going to rate you based on their assessments of your performance, well, how would you do things differently? You make sure you invest time at the beginning of the year, checking to make sure you understood the expectations of the people who will be assessing you. And many times during the year, you're going to check to make sure that what you're delivering is what they were hoping you to deliver. When you accept the mountain for what it is, you can navigate it more easily. Why do people find it so hard to accept reality sometimes? Is because they feel if they accept it, it means they're accepting that something else which they think is linked must also be true. So for example, if I accept that I didn't get the highest rating this year, then subconsciously I feel it means I'm accepting that I don't have the capability or potential for success. And these are two completely different things. My low rating this year does not mean low potential for the future. In fact, the low rating could be a stepping stone to success. I could introspect and learn. I could develop resilience. I could decide to quit and do something else that I really believe in. The rating that I'm resisting today is not a measure of my inherent long-term potential or my worth as a human being. These are completely different things. Now, to be clear, accepting reality doesn't mean you're resigned to things remaining the same in the future. Resignation means you think there's nothing you can do to change what's going to happen in the future. And acceptance means you acknowledge that what just happened, just happened. If you refuse to accept reality and say, this shouldn't have happened this way, or this shouldn't be happening, then you're going to spend your entire energy looking for whom to blame, instead of figuring out what you need to do to create the future you want. You see, there's no way the world should be. That world doesn't exist. There are only two worlds that exist. One is the reality of the way the world is right now. The second is the possibility of the way the world could be in the future, the way we want it to be. And it's only when we accept the former that we can start creating the latter. The universe has no obligation to live up to our expectations of it. It was here first. What we've been resisting may have been hard for us to let go of. A painful divorce. We're subconsciously afraid it means we're unlovable. Not getting to our first choice college. We're afraid it means we're not smart. A traumatic experience in our life. We're afraid it means we can never be safe. The way that some people currently perceive and judge us, we're afraid it means we'll never be understood or appreciated. And the uncertainty due to coronavirus, we're afraid it means we won't be able to provide for people we care about or protect them from harm. It may be very hard to let go. But before you can focus on doing all the things you need to do, you've got to start by clearing your mind of all the things you can't do anything about. So here's the reflection exercise for today. Write a list of all the things in your life that either happened in the past or the things that exist today that you have no control over. The things that still nag you and keep a hold on you and prevent you from being free to express yourself. And at the end of this list, please write this one sentence. I accept all this and now I'm ready.